Greetings and welcome to a Prayerful Pause. I'm Nancy Woodworth-Hill and amongst other things, a spiritual director. Today we will look at an image, the ocean of God's love, and a couple of ways that I've engaged it. So I will begin with a story. I once went to visit an individual who was in the psychiatric unit of a hospital. I gently asked them, what did they need in this moment? And was told that they longed to feel God's presence, which seemed lost to them. I remember thinking we are surrounded by God's presence every second of our lives. But like a radio, we need to be tuned in. We need to be aware of that presence. And this person was in so much pain that they had forgotten how to do this. So I invited them to take a comfortable position, to take a breath, to find that place that was relaxing, as relaxing as possible for them, and to keep their eyes open or closed, whichever was more comfortable. I then invited the individual to imagine an ocean of God's love, of God's unconditional love, so big that the opposite shore could not be seen, but the horizon could. So I asked them to set a comfortable temperature and depth for the water, as well as what they would consider a gentle movement of the water, so that this ocean would not be overwhelming. I then invited them to place themselves in this ocean, reminding them that God always welcomes anyone who comes, no matter what has happened in their lives. I guided this person through some visualizations, inviting them to experience God's love surrounding, upholding, and healing them. So used in this way, this image is a meditative practice of presence, of staying in the moment and centered in God's love. Another helpful use of this image comes when one has been challenged by another person's behavior. After imagining the ocean of God's love as I've just described, I invite a person to place themselves in this ocean, and then to place loved ones around them, whether they're living or deceased. There is no right amount of people, no wrong amount of people, no right or wrong place where they can be placed, imaged around me, imagined. They can be as near to or as far from that person, the loved one, as they would like them to be. They can be in front, behind, to the left, to the right, at whatever angle you wish. And once a handful of loved ones are placed, I remind the person that the ocean of God's love is for all created beings, including the person who hurt them. By intentionally placing this hurtful person also in the ocean of God's love, they don't need to carry love or concern for that hurtful person in the moment. God's love is sufficient for all. Then we wonder, what would be the best place to put this hurtful person? Nearby where they can be seen, an eye kept on them, so to speak? Further away, in front, behind, to the left or to the right, or even beyond the horizon. After this hurtful person has been in place, put in place in this ocean of God's love, I invite the individual to continue bathing in God's love, knowing that no matter what has happened, God's unconditional love is present. It may also be appropriate to be reminded that they have the option to move this person who hurt them around in that space to determine how close they may come. Setting boundaries is an appropriate thing to do in this world. You may see other ways to engage the image of the ocean of God's love. So here are the key steps. Prepare by centering yourself, coming to as much a measure of calm or silence or stillness as you are able. Envision the ocean of God's love, temperature, depth, gentle movement of the water, and then place yourself in this ocean. Allow God's presence to surround, uphold, and heal you. As appropriate, you may consider placing individuals who both love you and challenge you where they seem to belong, according to your current understanding, so that God's love is available to all. And I invite you to remain here for a time, soaking in this healing, sustaining, redeeming love. If this video has been helpful to you, please consider sharing it. Go in peace and remain in the ocean of God's love.